to do that. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Lazy Mini Painting. I'm Laz, your usual host. I may sound a little bit different this time. That's mostly because, hello, Beaky. Yes, it is Beaky who's got me another microphone, just to help get me a bit clearer and crisper. Hopefully it is working. So fingers crossed. Thank you very much, Buzzard. I have got it up and running at the moment. If you don't believe me, there it is. Very shiny one with lights on. But you're not going to get to see the lights much, sadly, because, well, it's quite a crisp microphone. I just hope I've got the settings right. I think I have, because I can hear it through my headphones. So fingers crossed that all works lovely, doubly, and brilliantly. So I'm going to come over and join you all in portrait mode and do all the other stuff when I start. Just bear with me a second, because he doesn't always like to do this, does it? We figured it out. He doesn't always like me doing it. I'm feeling better today. I'm certainly not coughing anywhere near as much. So I thought I'll go live because I've been missing one. I've been missing a few actually. Whoa, nope. Echo, go away. I've missed a lot this week. So I thought, as soon as I'm feeling okay, then let's at least do the magical world, because timescales and stuff. Good evening, Ali. Good evening. How are you doing? I hope you've had a good week. I hope everyone's had a good week. I've not had a chance to see us, which is not good. So today, it is, as you can see, I've got this bit all nice and in frame, and that's because I'm going to smash it with a rock. See? Rock. Now this is to add some kind of texture to the flat foam, but it does mean I've got to be really bloody careful, because I could accidentally break it, shall we say. So we've got to be careful with it. Not sure how we're going to do this without actually breaking it, but we're going to try. Now, see, one's already come off there. Hopefully we can get that stuck back on with Mod Podge. And we're going to get like lumpy parts of the rock and just press it in. Now this would have probably been easier with tinfoil, but my tinfoil balls got turned into turtles. So, yeah, can't use that. And I think Sparkles will shout at me if I start taking too much of the foil and just rolling it up into texture balls. So we can't do too much of that. I mean, foil's not that expensive, but we don't buy it for me to use as a texturing thing. We buy it to cook. So I use rocks instead. And you don't have to do too much of it, just initially to get some of it stop being flat. And with it being a big solid hard rock, yeah, we can just put a little bit of pressure on. So move it round again to get to this side, just because that side was down. And so you don't have to push too hard, just enough to make some dents, and certain areas you can give it a bit of a beating, just to help to add that little bit of texture. Right, that was easy. That was the easy texturing bit done. See, now it's got all the, see if you see the shadows and shades where it's been beaten in, and now it's got some texture on the rock. Haha, it does work. Even an idiot like me can make it work. So first, because I've got a couple of things to do tonight. First is the Mod Podge. That's already got black paint in it. And we're going to paint all this. Then while that's drying, if I can get it in camera shot, not quite yet, but I will when we get to it. We're going to do the sign for the Mirage bar. So that should dry relatively quickly while the Mod Podge bit dries as well. And then that'll give us all floors done. Umulkazi, hello. Hello, welcome in. You're probably walking in thinking, what the heck is going on? I'm making a diorama, is basically what it is. And it's a diorama to hold a crap load of D&D characters, which I've still only done 8 stat sheets out of the 30 odd that I need to do. So yes, I'm a little bit far behind on that regard, but I am doing well when it comes to actually being on time-ish for getting the diorama finished. Kind of. So now we Mod Podge this just to seal it all in. And we've got to be careful not to get too much on this section, because obviously that's already cut out card. I could just glue another piece on, but cutting it to the exact shape of this jiggly jaggly rock might be difficult, you know, with it being all jiggedy and jaggedy and not straight. Doesn't help. Ali, you're getting too good at that. You're getting way too good at that. Give people a chance to talk. Find out. However, I'm sure they're more than appreciative of you putting their channels up for people to go and check out. Especially if they do have a channel. Not saying everyone's going to have one though. Not everyone who comes to see me will have a channel. Just because they have a YouTube account. Yes. So, I don't know who's a YouTuber. If you're a YouTuber, then please say so. Ali is very good at advertising everybody else. I mean, she's awesome at advertising me. But I'm here. You're already watching me. So there's not much she really needs to do for that, because you're already kind of doing it. So she helps everybody else as well. Ali's awesome like that. But yes, hello to anyone who's new. And anyone who's not, and if you've been here before, then hello to you too. I don't have... It's just that some people don't have a clue what I'm doing. And if you've been here before, you might have at least half a clue that I've not lost my mind. You'd be wrong, I've completely lost my mind. But you may not think it because I'm up on YouTube and I act relatively normal compared to my usual self. And then that's probably worried some of you. Thinking, wait a minute, you act relatively normal on YouTube? Yeah. I act relatively normal on YouTube. Compared to my daily life, anyway. My daily life is quite weird. But if you are new here, Amy, hello. I was about to say, if you are new here, please feel free to say hi, just as Amy has done. Nice to meet you. I don't recognise the name. Well, you say that, Ali. I did miss this week because I wasn't well. I mean, still not 100% now, but I'm just not coughing down their microphone, which is definitely an added bonus. I know we just need to make sure that we can get all this Mod Podge right in all the crevices and everywhere else that it needs to go, and a relatively good coat of it as well. Oh, this mic is really directional focused. Oh dear. Right, okay. So if my head is away or I'm looking down, I've got to bear that in mind and raise my voice, because the microphone doesn't like it. I didn't realise that when I tested it earlier. That's because it was picking up mini las like 15 foot across the room. So I thought, oh no, it's going to be fine. It's going to get me. I'm only a foot and a half away. Well, apparently if I'm not looking at it, it doesn't like me. New things. New things. Isn't it good? Right, so... Oh dear. Oh dear. No, I'm going to have to move the camera, aren't I? Sorry, people. Maneuvering of visuals. Catch the microphone. Of course, that's the best idea I could have ever done in my life. And then we've got all this to paint up here as well. I'm trying to get some kind of camera in here. There we go. And down this side and down that side. Lots of painting. And I've got a bright light in my eyes. Really bright light. That's quite... Yeah, I can't actually see some of the actual brickwork because of the light in my eyes. But some of it, the light's shining through, which is actually making it a bit easier. So in some parts, it's harder to see, and some parts, it's easier. What? Why can't it just be easy for me? Just once, please. Just make it easy. Yeah, I'm going to have to glue another piece of that down, aren't I? Because I already noticed some black's already made it down above it. Alright, so there goes me being careful. And now I just slop it on to make sure it seals and sticks. So anything that could fall out, I want to make sure there's got a good coat of Mod Podge on so it soaks in. Soaks down between the gaps and helps glue it down. Because essentially Mod Podge is just a glue. It's glue with a bit of varnish in. That's all it is. But it's pre-mixed, which kind of makes it better for this purpose. Because obviously if you mix the glue and the varnish in wrong ratios, it ends up being more varnish, and in that case it could eat through the foam, or it could end up being more glue and you don't get the full seal that you want from the varnish. Luckily they do it all for you. So if you see any bits that I miss, and please don't joke and say you missed a bit when I haven't, because I will go looking for the bit that I've missed and it might take ages to realise that you were joking. But if you do see a bit that I missed, please let me know. Because you may say you've missed a bit and I may go, no I've not, because I'm not going to paint that, I'm just going to cut it off. And that's how, so we can have a little discussion about whether or not I did actually miss it. Right, that's a lot of sides done. And the top done. I don't need to do the top too much. Yes, Sally, we have Nick, Mandy and Graham. All three spuds. So we have Nick, we have Mandy, and we have Graham, who's the airy spud. Graham is the airy tail. And I've also found Lily, because I didn't know where Lily was, but I found Lily. I thought I've lost Lily, but I've not. I found her. Right, now try the best I can to balance this like so. Don't fall. Please don't fall. And bang my head off the camera. The corner on the top. Thank you. See? I got it. Because you told me I missed it. How good was that? Teamwork. And we can make the dream work. Yeah, I know. I deserve a slap for that. But none of you are close enough, so I'm alright. bit of the wall's not tugged well, has it? It's falling apart, this bit. Not literally, it just looks like it would be when I come round to actually painting it. But I've still not chose the type of rock I would like this to be. Whether I want it to be a grey stone, or really dark, or even a browny one. I know I'm going to have to put moss, a lot of moss on it, which means PVA glue and mixed herbs. For anyone who doesn't know how I make moss. That's just me. Other people make moss. Vienna, hello. Hello. Welcome in again. How's your day been? I'm glad to see you back. As I say, I try to remember names when I see them. May not necessarily remember how many times you've been in, but I try to remember the names of the people who come in and say hello. I am painting the temple section at the top. See? So now I can do that. I can actually bring it into more of a focused shot so I can see what I've done at the front. So I'm doing the temple section, which is the top layer, the very top layer. And what is going to be the final layer. It's just that it's going to take a bloody long time to dry. So if I get this painted first, and the heating's on, so hopefully that'll help it dry. If we can get that painted first. Yeah, it is Thursday. Although, you could call it Friday Eve. Which means you've got one day away from the weekend. And that's when everyone gets to go get drunk. If you drink. Or just time off work, if you want time off work. Right, so that's... Oh! Poor ladybird has found its way into my water pot. You're not surviving. Oh well, you should never come onto my desk in the first place. The fact that I'm still getting ladybirds in bloody January in my house. Payday tomorrow. I don't have a weekly payday, which sucks. My paydays are all over the place. That being said, I did order the Bluetooth speaker set for the ARC stage. I ordered that last night because it's going to take a while to arrive. He said about February before it'll actually get here. I mean, it's only about 2-3 weeks away. But that means it'll be here by the time I've finished doing this project. So it means it's going to be ready for the next project. Now I've just got to try and find STL files for good goth rockers or art rockers. Let's try and even this bit out up here because I don't need this bit to be too sealed in. No. But what I do need is that bit to be sealed and the Mod Podge to help glue that in. So we've got to leave that bit now and we'll come back to it hopefully later, if not then next week. But in the meantime, if we move this over here and bring you down, what a sound. We have the Mirage bar, which is there. Mother-in-law is very poorly in hospital, so not about much. Don't worry. Vienna, that's fine. You have real life is priority. We understand that here. We are not here to berate you because you didn't come and see us. You come and see us when you can. Hiradi, I'm not sure what that says. Sorry. If you could keep it to English in the chat, that way I can at least respond. I don't speak any other languages because, well, English is spoken through most of the world, so I've had no need, because I'm very, very arrogant like that, because I'm an Englishman. Everyone should speak my language, and that's the way it is. But yes, Vienna, please don't. We will be here when you're ready, rather than you don't have to apologise to us. You just make sure that your mother-in-law's fine, she's nice, your partner's okay as well. Because obviously with it being your mother-in-law, then it affects your partner as much as it does you, if not a little bit more maybe. So please take care of all three of yous, as well as anyone else involved. Obviously it's a family matter. We ain't family. We use the YouTube community that's here to help if you need. So pop in Discord, and yeah, if you want to chat, we can chat. You are very welcome in, Herdy, but I just don't understand what that is supposed to mean. If it's in English, then I can have a chance. Oh, now Buzzer's going to be really proud of me, because I Brillo padded my cup clean. Just to show. See, look, clean. It's not even got any drip marks down the side, because I've not even used it since I cleaned it. So, how do we make this sign look like it's been slapdashed? Slapdashed? Would that be the better way to put it? I don't know. Well, either way, it's going to require a brush, isn't it? But I don't want too big of a brush, but I do want a flat brush. So, Complex sent me a load of new brushes. Let's find a flat one. Oh, thank you. Have you not seen the shells? Yeah, so that's the water level. And then we have the ground floor, obviously, because this is where Sparkles and Oak stand. And then you've got the rest of the ground floor, which has, let's see, yeah, there we go. So you've got the forge over there. Then you've got the living area. And you've got the bar and on top of the bar. And then on top of the living area, you've got the ruins. So there is a few areas to this actual diorama. There's one of few places. Once I've popped the first layer, well, once I've actually done the Mirage sign, I can put characters back. Unless the section up there has dried. In that case, then I get to paint on with that. But if that's wet, then I get to put all the characters back for a bit. So you might actually get to see where everyone goes on this. Apart from the 4, which the characters that I've not painted go up on top of the mountain up here. Everyone else on this side has been done. Right, so out of the 2, I'm going to go with the chiseled because it's slightly wider. And then we get ivory. I'm not going to use the chisel to actually put the wording in. All I'm going to do is kind of rough paint it so they've got the wood off the beach. And then once that's dried, I can try to write the word Mirage on it. Once it's able to. No worries, Ali. Thank you for coming in, though. Thank you for coming in. And you have a good night. And a fantastic day at work. Hopefully you're going to have a good weekend as well. Now, I know I've not been here all week. But hopefully next week we're all back to normal. And because I was intended to skip next week's Combat Patrol, I'm not now because I'm going to get to do this week's instead. So I'm going to be still running an issue behind. But it'll work out. The week later it'll work out when I do the double issue. So I will catch up up until the next week. Yo, Joey! That was a good interview this morning, mate. That was a very good interview. Not very often does he go that far into politics. But, hey, if she gets through and she becomes the lieutenant, vice, semi, whatever it is she's supposed to become, and you get her back on, that's going to be pretty damn impressive. It's probably some of the biggest ones you've had on, I think. Obviously, politically wise, you've had some quite big names sports wise. But politics? That's a whole different kettle of fish, man. You're opening up a, big box of worms there. But, yeah, it's definitely expanding everything that you're going through. That's good. I enjoyed it as well. I was a little bit silly, so I hope you don't mind. But I tried to throw in at least a half-decent normal question. So, I hope it wasn't too bad on your stream. Right, so on here, I have to try and write the word mirage. I'm not good at letter scaling. So I'm going to use a marker instead of a pen, just because I've got a better chance. How do you spell mirage? M-I-R-A-G-E. Mirage. Don't catch yourself on things. Camera angles and stuff. Sometimes it just doesn't work, does it? Mirage. And then just to be awkward, I am going to use a different colour and I'm going to try painting it. Because that went on way too easily. And I can't have things go too easily, can I? That's just wrong. So we're going to get a bit of blue. Thank you, Vienna. Without silliness, we have nothing. That is a good point, Joey. Without silliness, we have nothing. Nothing at all. Silliness rules them all. Without them, we've got nothing at all. Oops. Sorry. Bit of the lunacy got out then. Apologise. It comes out sometimes. You see. If you spell it when you can't fall off a cliff, it's spelled mirage. The tip's not coming out. I should rephrase that. The end of the dropper bottle's not coming out. Because I think it's stuck. I got it out last time. What's going wrong? There we go. So now it's coming out. I've got to shake it again. Oh, that mirage sounded really weird. Because I've got my headphones on. I can actually hear me as well this time. I know it sounds weird. I can always hear me. But I can hear through these. It's usually off-putting. But it's not. This new microphone sorted it. Buzzard, you are an absolute genius. Just through a microphone switch, I've resolved the distraction from my own voice. It's great. Your eyebrows have left you, buddy. Mirage! Yeah, it would do if you was going to jump off a cliff and try and shout Mirage. I should imagine that you'd get quite a shock. Especially if you're not expecting to go off the cliff. Because you're thinking it's a mirage. And then all of a sudden, floor's gone. And you're screaming. Brush. That one. Nice pointy brush. Nice pointy brush. I'm dropping in and out of accents like hell tonight. Oh, well. And then we need to put the word B. Now, you can obviously tell that I'm not a graffiti artist. Because I'm struggling just to write the word bar with a brush. Because it's a deserted island. Well, it was a deserted island. Now it's lived on by the denizens that I've painted. Ooh, denizens. That was a good word for me, wasn't it? Not people. Not anthropomorphic things. Denizens. I'm getting posh. I think Sparkles is rubbing off on me too much. I'm going to blame that. Okay, so we need that section to dry. And that's alright. But we need to pick a colour for the base of the bar. Now, I don't want it brown. Well, I do want it brown, but I don't want it too brown. Or I don't want it these shades of brown. So, what shade is his base? What shade's the bar base? Right, this is the bartender. This is the yet-to-be-named Cthulhu warlock who runs the bar. So he actually lives in there when I put him in. So I need that shade of brown to go next to him. Now he's Mornfang. Oh, no, that's Ryan Oxide. That's Ryan Oxide. Get your colours right, man. Get your colours right. Sterling Mud. That's the one I'm looking for. Sterling Mud is a texture paint. And that texture paint helps just to stop it being flat. But it does mean you've got to apply it with a spodger. Now, where have I put my spodger? I'm holding up my phone with my spodger, so that means grab the Kolinsky. No, don't grab the Kolinsky red table brush. Don't grab the Kolinskys. Kolinskys are not supposed to be used for phone holders. Let's put that one there, which is just a cheap one, and then we can get the spodger. The spodger. We've got to give this Sterling Mud a damn good shake up because it's been sat there for ages. Ooh, he's getting there. He's getting there. Just got to get this ground texture on a little bit of a bar section here. And we've already stained the bar itself, so it's not exactly clean. It's been dirtied. It's had stuff spilt on it. The sign's now been roughly painted. I might need to put a little bit of wash over it just to try and stain the paint. But we want the nice thick Sterling Mud texture paint. And we're going to slot this in all around here. Trying not to get it into the hole where the character's going to actually be sat. But we can overlap it a little bit here. So you can overlap and come out from behind the bar a bit. You just can't go into any of the holes. Get the holes, get the holes. No, don't get the holes. Leave the holes. Leave the holes. Get the hair though. That's not supposed to be in there. kitty cat hair. Kitty cat hair gets everywhere. Which is annoying because you can't get on my desk anymore, so I'm not sure how... Oh, wait a minute. When I put it on the little table, that's how it gets up here. Right, never mind. I figured it out. I figured it out. Not that it was hard, but I figured it out. How I got cat hair on here. So, Sterling Mud texture paint. All around the edge there. And I want some down this side as well. And all down here, because there is certain areas that were difficult to get to. So in this instance, all the way down this section was really hard to get to earlier, especially with some of the thicker like wood filler stuff. Let's slop it on, because texture paint you are supposed to essentially just slop it on there and get it really, really in the nooks and crannies, and oh yeah, get it in there. Oof. Please don't ask. As I said, I'm still not well, so the parts of my brain that are functioning to do this means my brain ain't functioning to stop or apply filters. So stuff might come out of my mouth that I don't even know about. Like that. Oof, I don't know where that came from. It just happened. And I'm worried about that one. So now we're all there nicely filled in. All down there nicely filled in. Oh, we might need a little bit of the thinner one now. Just to get it into the little gaps. And all the way back there as well. And I just realised I just smeared a lot over my hand, because it's a double-ended spudgy tool. And I've used both ends. Well, that fills in that bit. Now, are there any other bits that need spudgy bits filling in? No. No. Oh, crap. Let's get rid of that brown bit off the port. Is it a port? Let's push it back so you can... Essentially, pier. That's it. The pier. Or the... Yeah. Fargrim! How you doing, man? Yes, we're back working on the D&D diorama. We're actually nearly the end of it, which is worrying, because once I've finished it, that's when I've got to make sure I do a concerted effort on the character sheets. I've only done... Yeah, I've only done 8 so far, and there's 30 odd characters. So I've got a fair bit of work to go. Yeah, it is one of a name, that, isn't it, Vienna? It is one hell of a name. But it is perfect. It is perfect for this type of channel, especially on D&D nights. Because I have a few like odd ones myself. I've got a couple of strange names that I use for characters and stuff. Gorlan Ebre, which is spelled Ebret, essentially. But that's one of the ones that I use. Obviously, there's Thos, who's the... In fact, what's Thos's name? What's Thos's surname? Does Thos share a surname with Amber? Possibly. Right, okay. That'll do me. Thos possibly shares a name with Amber. So it's Thosmead and Ambermead if they share a surname. So he goes in there as the bartender. Right, now this is when we have to try and start positioning stuff a bit better. Don't press that button. That's the wrong button. Right, so now we've got the diorama and I've got a camera for a nose. That's good. That's not going to dry yet. This section up here, that's nowhere near dry yet. That's tacky and still wet, so that's not good. Thank you for Fargrim. So that's not done yet. So let's start putting characters on and see what this is looking like when it's coming close to fruition. Okay. Now, as I said, the characters we've yet to do are to go up here. So we'll be going up this way a lot. Now I do have some behind here. So we have Sparkles, Oak, Ali, as yet to be named Lizard, Shamash, who is the Dragonborn Paladin. Who else have we got back here? We've got the two brothers, Sid and Shadow, which are the two sharks, and are also the bouncers for this area over here. So, yeah, they help the Warlock. They're the bouncers for the bar. Then we also have the Red Panda Merchant. Now, this fella has not been named yet, but he goes all the way at the back down there. Because he is the merchant, and he does sell legitimate goods. But not always legitimate goods. Which is why he kind of sits in the middle. So you've got the less reputable side and the law-abiding side. And then we've got the most weird and wonderful character that I didn't create. My daughter's created this one. We have Dave and David. So we actually have a character called D&D in D&D. Now, Dave and David are one character, but they have... they are two characters that play as one. So, yeah, that's just a whole complication for anyone who really wants a challenge on how to play a character. Now, where are the rest of them? Now, we have the penguin, who is not yet glued to a base. So I can glue him to a base, can't I? Let's glue him to a base. That would be a good idea. Can't my headphones. So let's glue the penguin to a base. And then I can put him up. Fargrim Hornraven was one of your D&D characters. See, a lot of people do use D&D names for YouTube because it just makes sense, and I've got way too much glue on my fingers and not enough on the model. And I've just got to glue him to the base. And then we have the assassin penguin. If I can remove the base from my finger. The assassin penguin goes up there. And where's the rest of the box? There it is. As I said, we have got quite a few other characters. So who else have we got? We've got the yet to be named yellow turtle. And it is a turtle. See? Shell. Now, purple, orange, red. Oh, right, he's right at the back over there. Have you noticed that, yeah, the bases try as much as I can to match where they're stood. We have the Lucario inspired. Don't know what yet. It's definitely a bit of a something. but we're not sure. And that's red, plain red. So you come over here. You stand next to Shamash. We have... Did we get a name for the red fox? Archer? I can't remember. Edna Scoggins. That's a good name. That's a good name. I may have laughed, but it's just because I weren't expecting the name Scoggins. It tickled me. It did. And we have Spider. And, oh, we get to come all the way down to the front now into the water. So we have the water section, where we have Storm, Gris, and where's Cyclone? Where's Cyclone? Oh, that's Bumblebee. That's Cyclone. Cyclone, who's Storm's little familiar. Very, very little tiny familiar to go with Storm. And that's the 3 in the water section. So now we can head back over here. I've really got to get used to this camera angle stuff. Now we have the Bumblebee, who's supposed to go with either the Butterfly Barbarian, which I haven't got the book to get the name, or it could be teamed with Ali, the Barbarian Butterfly. Essentially, the Bumblebee has to go with the Barbarian. Okay, we have the Displacer Kitty, who goes up here. And we also have the very smexy Ladybird Frog. And I've got to say, that tongue double licking that dual threat. Ooh, yeah. She's definitely doing it for me. In a D&D character way. Not in any other way, you know. See, even Sparkles is shaking her head. She knows what thoughts you all had. She's not daft, neither am I. I understood. I didn't mean it like that. I mean, as a character, it's just probably my favourite model out of all the ones that I've got. Chester, who I'm currently fixing, has lost his antenna. So he's getting an acorn hat. See? And that's green, purple, red. Chester goes in front of the door. Right near Dave and David. We have my character, the Barbarian Butterfly with a bonk stick. Who's asking where I've been all week? Silvers, I've been ill. I've not been well. Essentially, if I'd have gone live Monday or yesterday, you would have just got me coughing into the microphone all the time. It would not have been good. We don't want that. Oh, we have Barnaby, the bat. Oh, you can't see him because he's right at the top up there. See, he's all the way up there. And I think we're pretty much... Yeah, we've got 2 more people. No, 3 more. 1, 2, 3 more on here. And then the rest are all around here. Okay, so we need the Ember Forge familiar to go with the Coppercat, who is the master of the forge. Edna Scoggins. She's the character from a story you wrote. Large woman, big wellies, and a huge overcoat, scuffed full of poached animals, rabbits, pheasants, etc. Oh, that sounds like an excellent character. That does sound like a good character. Edna Scoggins. Yeah. Garland's definitely one of her favourite customers. Who else have we got? Oh, we have the... Now, I've got to get this in the right angle, otherwise you can't actually see that he's got green eyes. But we have the little toadstool dude. who also goes up on that level. He's finding the ones. Ah, I knew I was missing someone. We've got Nadal, the paladin, who is the final one for the ground floor. And then the last three, which go up here. So let's have the monk, or the otter monk, who goes up here. The sheep cleric, I'm pretty sure that's the cleric. Looks clericy. I'm pretty sure I did put them as cleric. And the owl eldritch knight. So those are all the characters that have been done so far. As I said, there's quite a few there now. There are certainly quite a few. So what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. And I've still got 3 to do back there. So 34 characters. Now, this is a waiting game now because it's all waiting for the templey thing to dry and the texture paint to dry. And I've barely been going, what, how long? How long have I actually been going? I've been going for an hour. Great. So, that means I've got good time. I've done good time. I'm going to move this out of the way for now, and hopefully not. Right, Barnaby, see him? Just there. He stood on the top. He likes to take a jump without any prompting. So I've got to be careful. See, he's wobbling already. I'm not even moving it and he's wobbling trying to jump off. He's broke his ankles twice already. Yes, Fargrim, these are 3D prints. I do not have a 3D printer, and the place I got these from has happily gone out of business. If you was... Wait a minute, I'll wait till I come back so I can actually speak. What we're pushing off the other end, Karen. Yeah, move that one. And then can I move it back further there? Yeah. Excellent, there we go. Right, so... Yeah. The place I bought them from, I did nothing but complain about when I first got them. For one simple reason. That, A, they messed up the order first of all and sent me a load of basing stuff instead of an actual model. And B, when they did send me something, the bases were not good. All the bases literally just sat there breaking apart in my hands. So I had to, luckily I had spare bases myself, so I could actually replace them with these, which I still have. Move my son's amethyst stone, which I luckily still have a big tub of bases. But I think this is one of the only ones that I got from him that survived. Oh no, there's another one. So out of all the 30 odd bases that I got, those two survived. That was it. And even if that, I could probably put a bit of pressure on and break it if I wanted to. The rest of them, they all broke off and just ended up as little flat discs. So lucky me, I have Boxo bases. So I got a chance to replace them. Still got loads, which is good. Because 30 odd bases is quite a lot. That's like 3 full boxes of Guardsmen that I had to use to replace. Oh, lucky I had them at the time. Right. Now, I wasn't intending to paint a character tonight, but I'm gonna. So I'm going to have a quick disappear to go refill my... or replace the water in my water pot. because, as I said, I wasn't intending to do much actual painting for models. I do intend to leave Northan until last, so I'm going to start on one of the familiars, I think. But I've also just downed my brew. So, seeing as I now need to go make a cup of tea as well. Where is it? There we are. We have a Rogue's Den Hobbies break screen, which is up, and hopefully, because I've changed the way it's done, those of you in portrait mode will see the Be Back Soon and the Rogue's Den Hobbies discount code, which is LAS10. If you buy anything from Rogue's Den Hobbies, please use that discount code. It gets you 10% off, and it gets me more models. That's how it works. I should be back soon. Oh no, I won't, because I've got to do the smart thing and put music on. Where is it? We are looking for Arius Nation and the Starbound full album. And try and find. There we go. So I'm going to mute me first, and then I'll put the music up. No worries, Vienna. Thank you very much for coming in, and you have a good sleep. Night night. Mute me.
Whispers break on a sleepless line. Every word falls out of time. Empty echoes, nothing new, but I still reach for you. Every signal drifts away, but the static makes me stay. Through the quiet, through the gray, I still hear you anyway. When the signals fade tonight, I'll still keep your voice inside. Through the silence, through the rain, I'll remember all the same. Every light in the distance fades. Every promise the silence made. Still I wait on the other side for the words we never tried. Every signal drifts away, but the static makes me stay. Through the quiet, through the gray, I still hear you anyway.
too far away. I still hear them inside my head, words I wish I had never said.
Every chain was a choice we made. Every moment begins to fade, but the fire is still alive. Through the ashes we'll
We
survive.
can't hide from what we've been. Every loss drags us in.
Through the static, through the glass, still we hear the voices pass.
Voices from the past remain, calling out through endless rain.
We were broken, we were lost, but we'll rise above the cost.
But we'll rise above the cost.
Even if the sound decays, even if we lose our way, every ghost is proof we live. Every scar is what we get. Voices from the past remain, calling out through endless rain. We were broken, we were lost, but we'll rise above the cost. Still we hear the voices pass. Voices from the past remain, calling out through endless rain. We were broken, we were lost, but we'll rise above the cost. Still we hear the voices pass. Still we hear the voices pass.
Still we hear the voices past.
Fading lines between wrong and right. Every dream burns into the night. Signals drift, but they never die. Every spark still lights the sky. We were chasing what we lost, never counting what it cost. Through the static, through the haze, we still find another way. Parallels collide with daydreams. Nothing's ever what it seems. Through the distance, through the fight, we're still.
Okay, that's about enough of that music. Thank you very much. Good music, but that's enough of it. Let's put the screen back and let's figure out where it's there. So I need one of these and the double-sided tape, which is, where's my double-sided tape gone? Masking tape will do, just roll it. So I've got to roll the masking tape up so I've got something to stick it into. Am I the last person to talk? Apparently so. So just for anyone who is new here, I'm Laz. Nice to meet you. This is entirely therapy for me. So please don't expect me to act like a standard YouTuber, because they do it for a living. I do it for therapy. Not exactly the most normal type of therapy I can think of, but, you know, it is what it is. So we need to make something to stick the model down onto here. So a little bit of tape and it's done. Yeah. Just reopen that again, make sure I have not missed anything. No, I have not so far. So, Northam, or Northam, is the last character, which is the gunslinging bard. He's going to be the last character that I paint. So that means I have 2 familiars. Now I either have the critter that I'm not going to paint like a critter, or I have a little dragony thing that I'm not sure what to do with. So I'm going to paint the critter first, because I know I'm not painting him like a critter. In fact, he's going to be so much not like a critter, he's going to have a blue face. How much not like a critter do you want to get? Ah! I've not even set him up right. Let's do the setup first. I've just dropped Lily. That's not good. So we got nice new dry brush. And look at how fluffy that is. That is really fluffy. So nice. And it's odd that I'm losing viewers now that have come back, and I got more when they came in. Oh well. Slightly dampen the brush. In the old-fashioned 80s, 90s way. Dab it in the ivory. Rub the majority of it off. And then lightly dry brush over to catch the details. So we know light shadings and things like that. This tape is not good for holding. I should have got the double-sided tape. I should have actually got off my backside and gone and got the double-sided tape. Oh well, you learn something new every day. So this is little critter who is not in focus. That's not good. There he is, he's better now. He's a bit more in focus. Let's get his belly. Nope, we've run out of paint. Just to run out of paint just as we get to the last bit. There we go, nice bright face. And just brighten up those back areas. I believe a lot of people have had lots of new projects going, including Silvers. And Twisted have some nice new projects going. Still need to have a chat with Silvers though. So if you're still in and you want to do the collab thing, just to come up and have a chat, let me know. I can send you another link so you can come up. Now we've got to wash the actual dry brush so it doesn't go rock solid. Ah! Now that's what you call giving it a damn good beating. I do only have space for one collab cam at the moment. I'll say at the moment, I don't, at this rate, I don't foresee it becoming more, but we'll find out in the future, we never know. So now let's move on to painting little critter. Now there's something about a blue face that makes me think it'll be scarier. So we come in and blew up his face. You don't blow it up, you blew it up because he's going to be blue. Don't ask why I've decided the skin tones are blue, I just did. Pure whim. Still not found a wet palette, so we're working the dry palette still. Which is doable. I do need to find that wet palette though, because it does make things a little bit easier. Stops my paint drying. In the palette, that is. Now, I want, hopefully, by the time I finish painting this little guy, then the ruins would have dried. So we can go back over and dry brush those in greys, ivories, and then apply the moss. his legs. And Tootsie's. Tootsie Toes. Tootsie Toes. I mean, I could have done him green, couldn't I, as well? Green would have worked. I think I might do his fur green. Oh, yeah, let's do his fur green. So yes, the kettle is boiled. I now have a fresh cup of tea. Those eagle-eyed of you, actually no, because the cup's not on screen, is it? So you would never have saw it coming. However, portrait mode does have the advantage of seeing me sit back down before I remove all the break screen stuff. Armsies and tootsies and painting his bellies. Make him a blue thing that scares you out of wellies. He will go nom nom right on your big face, 'cause he is a critter not on the human race. He's a weird thing with a big grin and gonna have beady eyes. And with his green fur and his snappy big teeth, when he bites you it won't be a surprise. Obviously I've got to put stats to this. I've got no idea what I'm going to do for it because it's going to be a familiar, so it can't be too heavy on the stats. Unlike Dave and David, who are two familiars making a full character. So there we have the nice blue skin. Now I've got to find a highlight tone for it. That's going to be fun. And I believe Calgar Blue will be a good highlight tone for it. Especially if I mix it a bit in with that. That'll work. I hope. Fingers crossed anyway. I'm not too sure I like this light, you know. It adds false colour to my skin. It makes it look like I've been out in the sun. When anyone who knows me knows I don't go out in the sun. I've got pale pasty skin. Why is it looking all... Yeah, I look like I've almost got half a tan. Only half a tan. Not quite a full tan. Nope, wrong one. Wrong brush. That's the brush. So we'll take a little bit of Calgar Blue and put it to the side of the blue that we've been using. Just to see how close it is. It's going to be a nice highlight tone, that. Just mix a bit of the blue that we've already used in. Just to help tone it a little bit towards where we need it. And then it should be a nice highlight tone. Without having to do washes and go through other mid-tones and things. It should work, I hope. Fingers crossed. Well, let's put Calgar Blue back. And wash the brush that I don't intend to use. Thank you for everyone who stayed around. I know I went for a break a little bit earlier than usual this time, but it made sense at the time. Now we get little tiny bits of this blue and just catch the higher edges. So in this case, cheeks and forehead. And then from there, Fargrim. The small wet palette off Temu is really good and cheap. You have two of them. One for my standard paints and another for... Oh, that's not a bad idea actually, splitting it between standard and metallics. I've got the Army Painter one. And it works very well. I just can't find it. Because, well, my desk looked like... To say a grenade went off would be a compliment. This looks more like a box of grenades went off. It's not the best, but at least it works. I've got a feeling I know where it is, and it's falling down the back of the big plastic Space Marine box. I'm hoping it hasn't, because that means we've got to pull out everything under my desk just to get it, which I need to sort out anyway. But I think that'll more happen when I end up as Laz Under the Stairs, or Lazzy Potter, as people are probably going to end up calling me. And then we get the extremely lighter tone and just catch down the middle of his head and again across his toes and a little bit on his belly this time. But what I'm going to do is grab some of that blue, get a tiny bit of ivory. I need a bit more blue actually. I need a lot more blue actually. Pardon me. And that's going to be a nice bright colour for his tummy. See? So his tummy's a nice brighter colour now. Now we can see him coming out a bit more. Now I'm distinctly lacking a blue wash. I think, am I? No. Actually, I have Dragunov Nightshade. So I can put a wash over him. Let's do that. Let's use a wash for a change. I don't usually use washes. I try and get away without it if I can. But we're going to try and use a wash on this one just to help. Because those blues don't seem to be having the definition that I would like. So I'm going to try a little bit of Dragunov Nightshade. Try and add some depth to it. You know, just to fill in some of these areas where he's like between his toes and stuff, so it does actually look like there's some shadows in there. The larger models are much easier to get away without doing this, but he definitely needs that little bit of a wash, you know, just to add the lines. We can bring it up higher for portrait. There we go. But he's looking nice now. He's looking all right. So, right, clean that brush off. That's a lot of blues we've used. Now, how do we go to the green? Do we go bright green? Do we go dark green? Do we go earthy greens? That is a good question. That is a good question. We have a lot of greens. I mean, we could do Death Guard green, which is quite a more earthy green. We could go Warpstone Glow, but I mean, big difference in the colours, big difference. What else have we got? We've got Caliban Green. Is that another Death Guard, or is that the... No, it's Castellian Green. Ah, see, Castellian Green should go quite well with... So if you do Castellian and Death Guard, Castellian being the main darker colour underneath, and then quick dry brush over with Death Guard. Or do we go really weird and go like Warpstone Glow for the base, and then go like Sabarite Green for the highlight? See, both look good. Both look viable colours to go with. But with it being a magical world, and I want it to be a bit whimsy, I think I'm going to go with brighter colours. So that is Warpstone Glow for the first one. Don't ask what happened with my voice, please. I don't understand. So I don't expect anyone else to. Shake it up, the greens. Oh, I need to shake up that one as well. So I might as well grab them both at the same time. I know what I'm doing. I'm putting metallic with them both. I'm going to mix a little bit of metallic with them both. So let's shake up my metallic medium I know I can get this in a bigger pot now. So now this was gifted to me, so it's the condition is nothing to do with me. They smoked in the house when they did it. I do not smoke in the house because otherwise it taints the paints, the computer and everything else that's in the room, and it gets all covered in nicotine. So where that came from, obviously they didn't do that. Didn't do that. No, didn't do that. So now we get a bit of the warpstone and mix it with the metallic medium to try and get a metallic green to a certain amount. Now most of the metallic medium will be going into this green, and then a very little bit to go into the Savorite green. Now I know this is way too much paint for the bit that I need to do, but that's because I've just mixed the metallic medium in. So you can even see on the brush there it is shinier now. And if I bring, nope, twist it the other way. There we go, we've got the actual green ready. So batter that brush in there. Beat the devil out of it, so to speak, if you want a bit of Bob Ross. And then we get the Savorite and mix it with a little bit of the actual metallic that's left, and that'll lighten that up and give us the highlighty colour. There we go. So we've mixed the two colours up. I think I've just dipped my sleeve in my brew as well. I'm an idiot. You know, the word moron sometimes does apply to me. And the light, oh no, if I sit up properly I can read without the light being away. I see, Laz does have brains sometimes. Laz does have brains sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. So now we want fur. And hopefully this is going to look nice and metallic-y. Yeah. Excuse you. I do apologise for that, people. That was my daughter. Well, that was one of the children. I'm not entirely sure which one it is. I just know it's the older two that burp like it's coming from the depths of hell. Mini Laz hasn't quite developed that technique yet. Well, I say it's the older two. He's also me as well, but I tried to not do it. So let's see if we can get this metallic green fur. Because although it looks like a critter, I don't want to paint it like a critter. That's a little bit too on the nose for the model, isn't it? In fact, I'll probably end up painting the dragony one a little bit more like a critter than this one. Certainly won't be using the same colours that I'm using now. I think the closest one's going to be the butterfly. I think he's also got metallic green on it. Not the butterfly, the bumblebee has also got metallic green, but he's also got metallic purple, whereas this guy's only got standard flat blue. So hopefully that's nice and shiny. Ooh, it is. It is. I have not Vallejo the Shifters. Let me just finish this Fargrim, and what I'll do is I'll go have a quick look on Amazon, and as with the stuff that I don't have but wish to pick up in the future, I add them to an Amazon wish list. Now most of it's stuff for me to remember to get that I'll need, such as the, I've got to remove that off there actually. I do have to remove the Bluetooth speaker set off there because I've ordered that myself. Which is what I'm supposed to do on that wish list. I'm supposed to order it all my bloody self. But as it is an Amazon wish list and it is public, if anyone does wish to buy anything off it, you don't have to worry about knowing my address. You just have to make sure that it'll send it as a gift and they'll send it straight to me. But as I said, that is not the reason I have an Amazon wish list. I have it more of a reminder of, Laz, you need to get this, and Laz, you need to get that. So now we have a very odd looking little creature. Creature. Is creature in? No. I've not seen creature anyway. Right, so now I've done that. So what is it I'm looking for, Fargrim? Vallejo, the Shifters. Well, I'm going to have to jump off my phone for a second. Sorry. So let's go have a look. We'll do it on, see, Amazon. So I will do all this on screen so everyone can see. How do we paste it? How do we spell this? I always forget how to spell Vallejo, and I've got like bottles of the crap in front of me. VALLEJO space the Shifters. The Shifties Galaxy Dust times 6. That's 20 quid. That's 20 quid. Oh no, there's a cheaper set. Is it the same one? Ah, 6 metallic colours for airbrush. Is that the one? Oh, that's nice. Green, blue, violet, electric, blue, intense, violet. They're like pearlescence. Oh. Oh. No, I need to get these because when Blake's car comes through, they would be wonderful to paint. Can you imagine a Camaro painted in some of these colours? Oh, that would be so nice. There's only one left in stock. I almost left something on there that I wasn't supposed to. Now, how do I add it to list? No, not add to basket. Add to list. There we go. Add to wish list. Excellent. Now I need to go check out my wish lists. And I need to remove a couple of things off it. You were using them at Iron Warriors? Oh, they were good. They sound good. Right, so wish list. Public wish list. This is the thing that I've already ordered. So it says currently unavailable, but I've ordered it from somewhere else. How do I remove from list? How do I remove from list? Ah, it might be that there. Delete. There we go. So the speakers have gone, but the shifters have now been added. Excellent. So I should remember to buy them now. Hopefully. Am I? Nope, let's skip to live. So I can keep up with everyone. Oh! Wow, that picked up a lot. Yeah, say hello to my lovely children, people. They've just been in and out of the kitchen. And it would really irritate them if my well, not my fans, but my subscribers say hello to them. They don't like talking to me. They don't talk to me. It's the wrong choice. I'm not going to hold it against them. The teenagers. What do you expect? Right, now we need the very light green metallic. Again, just brush off. But I don't want to brush too much off. And I just want to catch his tips. Now I may need to make it a little bit lighter, which may end up taking some of the metallic out, so let's mix a bit more in just to make sure. That's practically all white metallic that now. I'm going to be really gentle just to catch the top layers, as we don't want to go too far, but we do want to see a slight gradients between them. He was really easy. Now we just got his teeth in his eyes. Hey, he's got to be quick, this one. We're going to be going an hour and a half. I don't think that's going to be dry by now. I may end up doing both the familiars tonight and the ruins. Ooh, this might be the most productive night I've had for the entire bloody project. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. If I have to take half a week off and get ill and just to come back and have a really productive week, I'll do it. I just might have to vary the projects I'm working on. But that's working alright, that is. Right, now do I wish to go stupidly bright yellow, or do I wish to go Avalon Sunset, essentially? Avalon Sunset or Flashgate? Flashgate. It's gotta be a Flashgate. Oh. Flashgate yellow. Give it a damn good shake. I don't know, I should really be doing this with my glasses on, because it's going to be really, really fine work for this one. But I've not got them on, so there's not much I'm going to be able to do right now. So get a little bit of the Flashgate yellow, because we don't need much at all. Literally, that is more than enough. In fact, I'm not even going to use all that, even close to it. Whereas with the metallic green, the lighter one, I used it all. In the case for this yellow, I'm barely going to touch it. So, these are the bits that I dislike the most, because they are the most delicate out of them all. He's getting his little beady eyes done. And then his toothy pegs. So there's a nice big yellow smile, nice yellow eyes, and blue skin with green fur. Makes sense to me. Don't know about anyone else though. Right, wash that brush off. Now I need to find a base. Why am I struggling to find bases? I just had them all. I have just had a crap load of bases right in front of me. Why am I struggling to find them? Because I put them under masking tape. That's why. That's why. They are under the masking tape. No, that's too big for him. That's way too big for him. There we go. One texture for him. I should already have the textured out for Nathan. Nathan, sorry. I need one more for the little dragony dude. Please say I've got one more textured somewhere. I should have, because I've counted them out and I did have enough. some bizarre reason I can't find it. So I'm going to get a standard base. I'm going to put Astro Granite on it, and that's going to be the base for the dragon. Dragon. I don't know actually if it is a dragon. It's just got horns and a snout. So I hope it's a dragon. But if it's not, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. Texture base this one. Give that a damn good mix. I don't want them to be too different from the rest of them. A little bit of variance I'm not too bothered about, but I don't want them too different than the others. So I do want there to be some texture on there, even if it's not as grainy as some of the others. Why am I putting that back over there? That doesn't live over there. I need to find something to wipe this on. There we go. So it just doesn't slide. That's good of it, wasn't it? And then that goes in the bin when I finished. I'll just give that a big quick little wipe off just to make sure it is clear. A Chinese look running. Yeah, you see, I had two bases, but I glued penguin to one of them, and there's the other one. But I should have another base, another two bases actually, that both look like this. Is that one? Yeah, there's one. So the only one I'm really missing is, I'm missing one base, which means it's probably around there somewhere. If we actually give it a good concerted effort to find it, it will take a concerted effort. Okay, so what's the Chinese look dragon? I'm going to have to go look that now. Chinese look dragon. Chinese E-S-E look dragon. Let's have a look. Oh, they're just pure gold. Except for that one. That one's just rainbowed. That was just rainbows. So let's take this fella off and glue him to a base. So he gets to go in the lighter base, I think. Loads of super glue just to make sure the little bugger holds. And we can leave him over there to set. Chinese look dragons, or longs, appear to be very gold or jade green. Now, I don't think I can get away with a natural jade. I don't particularly wish to... Let's do the dry brushy bit first, and then we'll find out, shall we? That'll make it a bit easier. Because then we can see which bits we could possibly get away with texturing and which bits could be more dragon-esque. That's a very heavy dry brush. That's practically just painted in fucking ivory. If that one. Never mind a dry brush. We pretty much just painted him. Now, he kind of looks doggish, which is weird. He kind of looks slightly doggish, but he's got the spines and a lot of fur. So no, I think he's going to be a doggo. He's going to be a doggo with horns and spikes. Look, I've got a metallic butterfly that's a barbarian. I don't think he's going to be too out of imagination to have a doggo with spikes on and spines and horns. We've got a frog playing a dual fret guitar with his tongue, for crying out loud. we have a copper, well, a purple green cat. Oh, that's how you do it. That's how you go for something jadish. You go bright green and wash it with dark green. Oh. So if we go for Sabarite green and then wash it with something like stupidly dark like Arthonian camel shade, that might get a jade. Oh, let's try it. Let's try it. Or at least on the horns. We'll try it on the horns. We'll give it a go. And we're going to try and replicate some kind of ivory on the horns for this creature. Just once I've finished off the last bit of dry brushing, I've just realised I've missed on its tail there. There. Okay. Now, in fact, I should stick him on that, really, shouldn't I, to make him easier to hold. So that's a little dragon dog. If a dragon dog's even a real thing. I don't think it is, but that's what I've got. And you make do with what you've got. I just realised Crittery Guy is not centre. Doesn't need to be, but he's not centred just because it's going to irritate probably somebody. Not me, but somebody's going to get irritated by it because it's not central. It's the way it happens. So we try a bit of Sabarite green. And I've just got loads out. I've got way too much out. Put the dry brush back now I've washed it. And try a thinner brush, lass. Try a thinner brush, lass. It does help. It does help. Actually having a brush that's relatively the right size to actually paint this thing. We go for the new, what is it? Fumui. Size 1 detail brush. So, horns. Horns. Now these are not metallic, so it's not technically the same colour that I've just used. And thanks to a friend of a friend, I'm aware I can get a bigger bottle of the metallic medium. So I don't have to be scared of using it as much anymore. Because I was really reluctant to use it, because I'm going to be using it for Harry the Hellbound. We have a name for the dragon dog. Harry the Hellbound. You got a... That's actually quite a good response. So I don't think that was a... Oh, that's not going to get named. That's actually more than likely going to be his name now. Harry the Hellbound. It might be rather fitting that I'm painting him now, because hopefully, I'm not sure how long it's going to be, but eventually I'm going to end up under the stairs, so Harry the Hellbound can become under the stairs with me. And then at least there will be a Harry under the stairs. And a little spike at the end of his tail. Now, do we mix a bit of gold and brown? Or do we just mix a bit of metallic medium into it? Because Luck Dragons, majority of them I saw were gold. So I suppose I could mix a little bit of gold in with brown just to help with the fur. But I'm liking them green horns and spikes. They're good. They're good. I like them. So let's see. Do I go gold with a tiny bit of brown just to darken it up? So something like Retributor armor, and then mix it a bit of Mournfang. Sorry, not Mournfang. Ryan Oxide. Let's have a play. Let's find out and have a play. Because I might prefer to mix Metallic Medium with Ryan Oxide rather than gold and Ryan Oxide. But we'll find out. Let's get a little bit of gold, or Retributor armor as it's called. Pop that on the palette there. Close that up. Constantly washing brushes. Always washing brushes. So I believe Harry the Hellhound will be the name for this one. Which leaves the critter. Well, the not critter. Oh, this brown is not mixing with this gold. Oh, there we go. It does eventually. Oh no, it does darken the gold up quite a lot. That's actually done. Oh, that's done quite a good job. Because then I can re-highlight it with the actual gold itself. I don't want to hit certain points. So get most of the fur, but there are certain areas that I wish to be lighter, such as the snout and the stomach. So we're not going to quite get everywhere with this. I'm just going to be very careful though, because there are some areas that are like right in the middle there. You're going to have to try and get a brush into it and not disturb the green, which is a lot more difficult than it bloody well looks. I know some people will probably get this and go, nah, it's easy, dish, 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 and it's done. I am not one of those people. I am getting better though. Slowly, I mean very bloody slowly. Most people that have been practicing as long as I have developed techniques, and some of the more difficult ones at that, such as stuff like non-metallic metal and source lighting. I, however, have not, mainly because I'm not brave enough to bloody try them, and they take ages. Not gonna lie, some techniques take far too bloody long for the effect that you get. It's a really good effect, but by the time you've painted that effect, you probably could have put about 13 or 14 models out. Or I could have anyway. So that's why I'm staying away from those effects. So that is the Hellbound. Do I have a Hellhound stat? If I have a Hellhound stat sheet, I can just rip that and give it to this guy. And that might be good. That might work. See, that never changes. That never changes for some reason. It still says I only have one viewer. One viewer. And I don't even know who it is. I think it might be Joey. It might be Silvers. It might be Buzzard. In fact, no, it's probably going to be Buzzard, isn't it? Yeah, it's more than likely Buzzard. But that's if it's right. If it's wrong, then I may have 6 in there and it's not fucking telling me. Yes, enjoyment is a good point of painting. In my case, though, therapy's just as important in this case. So let's see if we can get a little bit of ivory out of there, and then try and lighten up this gold from in here. Nope, that didn't work. Mainly because I ran out of ivory and it dried up. And where did I put my ivory? I cannot sing, so I should not be. But did you hear my ivory? I'll just have to get this one instead, which is Raka Flesh. Basically an off-whitey grey colour. Something that's going to help me tone the actual gold. It may take a lot of gold, which I'm glad I've got multiple pots of Retributorama. A nice dollop of that. Mix that on there. And it might not be as shiny as I want, but it's certainly taken on the slight yellowy colour. And then this can be face, chest, you know, the areas that generally aren't as bright and colourful as others. So, snout area. I'm going to paint in over the eyes, even though I know I've got to come back and redo them. Front of paws. That's just gone through like really thickly. So let's wash the brush off. Take all the excess water off, and now try and move the paint around so we can do things like see the eyes and see the details on the bits that we've just painted, so it's not as weirded and wonderful. And his feet stand out a little bit more then from his body. Because not all of him's going to be gold. But the Chinese look dragon was an absolutely good call there. Thank you very much, Fergrim. Fargrim. Sorry, I always say Fergrim. Because I want to say Fulgrim. And then I go, no, it's not Fulgrim. So my brain goes, Fergrim. And it's like, no, you friggin' idiot, it's Fargrim. But I only remember it again after I've said it, and then my brain calls me an idiot. Which, granted, I spend most of my week calling myself an idiot, so don't worry about it. At least I know enough to correct myself. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'm not too up my own ass to admit it. Sometimes. Sometimes I am. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes it's just no, I've not got a chance. I'm not going to admit it. Even if I'm the wrongest person, the wrong ever. Eyes and mouth. Eyes and mouth. I'm not sure. Part of me says red. Makes sense. Mouth usually red, pink, you know, that type of colour. But it's got green. And green and red always makes me think of Christmas. And I don't want to think of that. That's 11 months away. That can go... Wait. I don't want to go blue, because I've just done blue on this fella. Oh, that's shining. That is shining. Oh, I like that. Yeah, right, no, he's good. I have so many colours. I'm going to go for a dark pink. So in this case, it's going to be Screamer Pink. So it's not red. I've tried Roll20, but I have an app on my phone, so I can do custom stash sheets. In fact, because I'm actually working through this stream quite quick, and I need to save time and, well, spend time to let my ruin section dry. I do actually have a character thing, which is 5th edition character builder. So in this case, Shadow, who is one of the shark fighters, level 7, 79 HP, initiative 4, 18 strength, 16 constitution, 14 dexterity. Charisma is his dump stat. He's a big bloody shark. Wisdom, nah. Intelligence, because he's got to ask you, have you been drinking tonight? But you can also classify what type of fighter is. So in this case, so I've gone for Race Triton. You can breathe underwater in addition to air. You have cold resistance, and you have a swim speed. It does have some spells that you can cast per day, like Fog Cloud, Gust of Wind at level 3, and a 5th level Wall of Water. But he uses Charisma as his stat, and that's a -1. So he's not the best. He's a mercenary, but he's also a champion in the fighter archetype. So if we go for that Triton, and if we was to build Sid, so let's go to here, new character, use character creator, yes, race, Triton, subrace, just Triton, and he's going to be a fighter. And his background in this case is going to be well, the brothers, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the no, we'll put him as a military veteran because they are brothers. They're working together a lot, so that gives us that. And then I go for simple, so I get +1 to strength, +1 to constitution, and +1 to charisma. So I'll keep strength at 15, dexterity at 14, constitution at 13, because I'll get a boost. Charisma will get a boost. No, that's fine. Perception, intimidation as his 2 extra skills. And he has dual weapon, so he's going to be a champion. So 2 weapon fighting, because he does have a dagger and hook thing. Obviously max for his first one. Chainmail, yes. Martial weapon. No, I don't actually think they have anything similar to what I would actually want to use. So I usually go for something like a Morning Star, or what's the other one with a reach? There is one that's a bit longer. Is it oh no, Double Scimitar is that one that I go for, because it's basically a hook and thingy at one, and it has special rules. But that's his main thing. He has another martial weapon. Which in this case I'll put as a pike. 2 hind axes and explorer's pack. Next. Done. And this is Sid. And then we have to go through the process of leveling the bugger up. Fighter. Roll. If he gets average, below than average, I'll take average. If he gets higher than average, then he gets it. In this case, he got the average. Level him up again into a fighter, and this one is a champion. Roll. Oh no, he got higher this time. Level it up. +2 in any. So we're going to stick 2 more in constitution. Change style, change. Maneuver. Have I got a maneuver? We do have lots of maneuvers. Okay. We'll go for grappling strike, because he's a bouncer. So, see, 2, not his average. 9, that'll do. So I do certain things to stop them being crap. Roll 9 again. Cool, that'll do. So 2 more to go. Oh, okay. We'll stick 2 on strength this time. Roll average. Nice. 1 more level up. Done. So there we go. We have Sid, who is a level 7 champion fighter. Again, he has the swim speed and everything that the sharks will get. They'll all get the Triton race if you're a shark. And aquatic beasts can understand them. But with him having the champion, what do we get from champion? You crit on a 19. You can make 2 attacks in your turn. You gain half your proficiency bonus on strength, dex, and con checks you aren't proficient in, and jump, strength modifier further. So you can quickly build characters, spell DCs, weapons, including all the stuff that it's not bad. Well, obviously the proficiencies that you have also, and within that I also have Samash, Dave and David, who have had to make us 2 character sheets even though they're a single character. Ali, Shadow and Sid, and I've got Sparkles and Oak written down. So I do have something to make characters on. I just need to type it all out then on character sheets and make it all official, and then I can upload it to Discord. Now I've just got to skip this back to live, and hopefully that'll work. So I've just thrown Sid in and Shadow, so I've got 9 done now. That's good. I like having more done than I wish. Still doesn't tell me what colour. Oh no, I was going to do pink water. Pink. Pinky pink, 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 pinky pink, pink. But we don't have any stats for Little Creator. No stats for Little Creator. Do get a bit of pink out. Pop that on the palette. Only a tiny bit though. Don't need lots. No, don't need lots. Give the paintbrush a good battering. Just because, well, this is an old brush now. I got this when I got the Conquest magazine. Never mind the Combat Patrol, which is the 3rd time they've done it. This is from the 1st time that they did it. God, I've been collecting Warhammer far too long. Right, let's get the pink done on this little fella. So we need tongue. Which is really bloody small. And his eyes, which are bloody tiny. So there we go, we have probably the worst eyes I've painted so far on this project. His ickle nose and his tongue. Now I'm going to paint the inside of his ears as well. Just so we know they are actually ears. And now, hopefully, we have a Chinese Luck Dragon who is going to need an Agrax Earthshade wash just to clear up and define his chest and a bit more of his back. We have Agrax Earthshade. Isn't that lucky? It was so close to my hand. Normally I have to root around for this bloody thing. So we need that, and we'll get the size 0 flat. Is it really? I thought it was about the same as a roll 20, but I've not used much of roll 20. A fairy dragon stat sheet. Now, will that be in the player's handbook? Because anything that's in the monster manual, I can just straight up rip out the monster manual. However, a lot of these characters and the familiars are taking some custom work. Like Sid and Shadow. They have a dagger on one end of the chain and a hook on the other end. So to do that is kind of a scimitar, but I need to be able to add reach to it so they can sling it at you. So a very weird Chinese Luck Dragon. Ah, shit. This is the problem with not having the right tape. See, now it's losing sticky. We don't want it to lose sticky. We want it to stay exactly where it bloody well is. And let me get the paint on you, please. Well, in this case, the wash, but you know what I mean. Right, now you can go over there to dry. You're just falling off to annoy me. So a fairy dragon stat sheet. I wonder what a fairy dragon stat sheet's like. I'm gonna have to go get the monster manual. Or one of them. Where's the monster manual? There it is. Take Dead Dawns off so I can go find it without garrotting myself with a wire. Oh, what's that one? Oh, that's the Dungeon Master's Guide. That's the thingy screen. See, I mean, I have things like the Ghost of Saltmarsh and the Tomb of Annihilation as well, so if there's any specific stat sheets in there, I could possibly use those as well. But, Monster Manual. And what, a fairy dragon? What page is a fairy dragon on? Fairy dragon 133. See, is this going to be overpowered for a familiar? 138. Fairy dragon. AC 15. Only a 3 strength. That's not. Oh no, it has a fly speed. It has a 60-foot fly speed. Can't have it. Nope. Little critter has no wings. He has no wings, so he cannot, I'm afraid, be a fairy dragon. I mean, the 20 dexterity at +5, jeez. He's got some good skills and relatively decent combat abilities, but he doesn't have any wings. He has no wings, so he cannot. And that dexterity is a bit high for a level 7 familiar. What's his CR rating? Up to a 2. See, that's not too bad. Red, orange, yellow, or a CR1. Green, blue, indigo and violet, or a CR2. But it's a 60-foot fly speed, and I can't really give him that. I mean, even the bat, the butterfly, and the birds that can fly only have a 30 foot, just to keep it in line with you know a standard walking speed. Do we have any weird? See, what's a shrieker? Oh, that's a fungus. Got a no, definitely not a gargoyle. No genie. Don't know what a Dow is. Gen Efreet? No. A married? No, that's a large animal. Definitely not a giant in any way, shape, or form. So I ain't nicking that. Gibbering mouther. Gibbering mouther. No, it's really slow. That's not good. He is not a gith. He's certainly not a null. No type of goblin or golem. Definitely not a gorgon. What's no, not a grick or a grell. Or a griffin or a grimlock. No hag. No hobgoblin. See, I need. Normally half the littlest stuff's at the back, isn't it? So, what we've got? Rhinoceros, reef sharks. No, but if we can take something. So, what's a quipper? That's a swimming thing. See, I could go for something like a mastiff. No, because I want it to be more of an ethereal thing, don't I? You are right along the lines of making it into a fairy something. But a fairy what? A dragon's a bit too overpowered. Let's see what other type of fairy type creatures we have. No, we only have a fairy dragon. No. Nope. No other fairies. Not in this anyway. Pardon me. Don't want a naga because they're the snake people. Imp. No, imps have... Oh, an ice devil. 75. What's an ice devil? Now, you sidetracked me now. I'm looking through the monster guide where I'm supposed to be painting. Does an ice devil does not have a fly speed. It is a bit overpowered though. It is a challenge rating 14. So, nope. I'm not giving it a 20 strength and an 18 constitution. And yeah, nothing lower than a +2. So let's not go that quite far that way. What's a barb devil like? Oh, barb devil's looking more like it. Good constitution, not too heavy on the strength. 30-foot movement speed. I mean, it does have a lot of hit points and a natural AC of 15. Do you have anything quicker and less intimidating? What's a quasit? That's all decks. All decks. Ooh, a Hezro. Nope, again, challenge rating 8. Too much for a familiar. A Dretch. Possibly a Dretch. But I've got a feeling a barb devil might be the closest thing that I want. But again, that's going to be pretty tough for a familiar. Don't want a Demilich, jeez. Death Knight, no. Cockatrice, no. Cool, no. That's challenge rating for me is all strength. No, next to no dex, intelligence, charisma, or wisdom. I could just remove its swim speed, I suppose. Knock down its HP and go for a cool. Make it a baby cool. I'll go for a Bulletti. A baby one. That way I can knock some of its stats down, reduce its movement to a 30 foot, and its armor class down to a 15. Don't want any kind of beholder, that's just too much for that as a familiar. Ooh, it does look a bit like a baby basilisk. No, I'm going to make him a baby basilisk. Red caps. I mean, we do have a red cap familiar. Or at least a, like, little mushroom. So we could do a red cap. But no, he's going to be a... I think... Ooh. See, Basilisk kind of runs nice for both of them. Basilisk works for both of those. Definitely not any form of angel. So I'm going to go around one as a basilisk. See, and as long as I can keep it somewhere CR rating 3 or less, I'm alright. Where was that other beast that I saw a minute ago that I thought, ooh. It was a Bowlet, wasn't it? Or a Bulletti. That's an underground hunter, it digs. So if I make one a Bulletti and one a... where's it gone? And one a Basilisk. So make him the Bulletti and him the Basilisk. That should work. Right, let's make... I need something to put into there. So in this case, a paperclip will do. Just so I can mark both of those pages. And I know I need to go look at those stats for the familiars. So pop that away now. And I've marked the pages where the Basilisk and the other ones. So I can practically flat out rip them off. Right. So that's the two familiars done that I wasn't intended to paint at all tonight. I was not intending to do them at all. Is that dry now? Not quite, so that's going to have to be Northern's base. So a little bit of super glue. A bit more super glue, and then I can put the other one on here. Oh, it's just far too much super glue, but it soaks in so well that I have to put loads on. And then try and drop him somewhere in the middle. Now I'm not quite sure whose familiar he's going to be, but he is going to be from the mountainside. So if you're playing either Rogue or the Gunslinging Bard, then you can take one of the two familiars with you. If you're from that side, you can take either one of them. So that's them done. Oh, I mean, I've only got one character. I have one character left. I'm gonna have to message Northern just to let him know when I'm doing his character, because that's the one that's been named after him. So now knowing which one it is, let's put him on there, so we know it's him that's left to do. And let's just move them out of the way so they're not going to get in the way of the big building when I bring it over. Press all the lids down, because we don't want these things spilling, particularly the washes. I've lost far too much Agrax Earthshades because of that. Put all the paints out of the way again, except for Death Guard Green and Death Guard Green, and I need a brown, a light brown, so Beyblade Brown, which is all crusted up. This is why I don't like Games Workshop pots. Look at the state of that. Bloody horrible. But yeah, those are the two that I'm going to help to make bricks. And a grey, an actual grey, or a darker grey. Now, don't tell me I don't have a dark grey on all this, please, because I know I've got greys. I've got far too bloody many greys. So where are they all? I don't want to use Astra Militarum grey, because that's too light. What's that one? That's a bad and black. That's just way too dark. Lead Belcher is, well, silver or metal. What's that one like that? Nope, that's blue. And that one is Screamer Pink. No, so it looks like I'm just going to have to do greens and browns and then dry brush it with ivories. Francois, thank you for joining us. It's been a while, man. Been a while. And good to see you. Glad to see you back in. And I hope you're doing well. I believe the last couple of times you've been very unfortunate and just turned up as I'm clicking end stream. Which I'm sorry about the incredibly bad timing on both our parts on that one. Obviously you didn't know it was ending and I didn't know you were coming in. So that makes that all fun, doesn't it? Okay, so let's go get the diorama back, and hopefully Barnabas doesn't take a bloody jump off the top, and hopefully I don't snap any bits off. Because that's the scary part after all, isn't it? Just grabbing it and breaking things. Move the palette out of the way because we need the room on the desk. And then we need to slide this back in. What have we just knocked off? I've just knocked off Northern. Northern. And now we need to do camera positionings again. This becomes fun after a while, doesn't it? Nope, wrong way. That way. Yeah, the pots are the worst pots that I've ever used, and you're right, the consistency's gone really downhill. Ridiculously downhill. Right, so this is the bit we're going to do now, which means to do that I'm going to have to move all these off. Just because I don't want to accidentally paint them with something that does not... Have I just dropped one? Yes, I did. Let's put you back up there, thank you. So this bit's going to need a dry brush because Oh no, has it dried? Mostly. Has it dried enough to me to be able to dry brush it? That's what I need to know. Yes, it has. Right, so I'm going to pick a few bricks to pop the green and the Britons on. And then I'm going to dry brush it all. Yes, I did. Francois, I now have... wait a minute. Currently my camera's attached to it, so I can't quite show you. But yes, Buzzard bought me a new microphone. Well, let's say a new Buzzard bought me a different microphone, which has lights and LEDs and things in it, but it does seem to have cleared my voice up. So, way hey, I ain't complaining. In fact, I'm thankful. Buzzard helps me so much with this channel that most people don't realise how much, and he's too modest to want me to say on stream. But Buzzard helps me a lot. A lot. So let's get some odd green bricks painted in, just to stop it being one flat colour, even though it's not a flat colour, I know. But you know what I mean, just to add a variance of... Yeah, that was a good idea. Let's just bounce my paintbrush off it. Yeah, your plan backfired, you can still hear me. In fact, even worse, you can hear me better than before. It's clearer, it's crisper. I've tried it on a few things, including, obviously, Streamlabs, which is why I'm wearing my headphones. With this mic, I can hear myself and it doesn't distract me. It's weird. Give me the other mic, the blue snowball that you got me, and I can hear myself and it distracts me. This one doesn't. Don't know why, but I'm glad, because that means I get to leave my headphones on so I can do collab cams and I can hear whoever I'm collaborating with and I don't distract myself. Pardon me. So little spots of green. And a few of the bits up here as well. Fingers crossed, every little bit that goes towards improving my production on screen. It all helps. It all cleans up and it makes it better viewing for you. Not just you specifically, Francois, I mean everybody. But if I can make it good for everybody, then yeah, you're right. More people will come and see me. And that means I get more people to talk to. So my streams go longer because I get distracted. Which helps in turn with my therapy. Now I know I've just gone neat straight out of the pot with this. And I probably should have done this a little bit earlier. Maybe before I started painting the second familiar. But it's a bit late now. Oh, I didn't do any greens around this side, did I? You could be brown because you've not been covered properly. And you could be brown because you're a weird end one. And it has to come around this way then. I don't want as many brown ones, but enough to even out a little bit, and just so that the green's not too much. thank you, Fargrim. Thank you. It is appreciated. I know some people go, please give the thumbs up, and then... No, I actually appreciate it because, well, it means I've earned it. I don't like people just come in, thumbs up, and bugger off. Come in, make me earn it. Whether that be by entertaining you or just you enjoying the stream in general. But yeah, I'd like to know that I've actually done something rather than, well, I'm going to give it a thumbs up because I know Laz. I'm just going to go in, give it a thumbs up and leave. I mean, thank you for it because it does still help with the algorithm, but I'd rather you stick around and chat and talk and help with the community, which is kind of what I kind of need from this. If I need anything, it's going to need a community to build up around me to help with my therapy. And it's not like you have to actually help with therapy, it's just the peace of mind that this isn't doing. Yeah, I know you do, Francois, but as I said, I don't mind you doing that, that's fine, but if it was a personal preference, I'd rather you stick around, have a chat, talk, listen. I'm aware people come in, thumbs up, leave. I mean, there's 291 subscribers now, I think, somewhere around there, about 290. And obviously not everyone comes in and talks, and some people come in and leave thumbs up. That's fine. You do whatever you want to do, but as a personal preference for me, I'd like you to stick around. I'd like you to chat. Tell me the things that you're doing. Tell me what you're working on. Tell me what your plans are next. You know, let's all have a bit of a chat. Have a bit of a talk. It's even why I opened a Discord channel. So that people can come in, talk. Like-minded people can get ideas from each other. Not like-minded people can go, oh wow, I've never even thought of that. And there's lots of ideas that I've got from you people, from all of you viewers, and my subscribers, and my community, that I've just gone, ooh, no, that's a good idea, I'll do that. That's a top idea. It's a really good one. Well, the last one I think I managed to get sorted with the gain and the gates. Now I've adjusted the gain and the gates for this mic because it's a different mic. It was lower for picking me up, so I had to adjust a bit. But once I got that adjustment done, and as I said, now I can actually wear the earphones and they don't distract me. Whereas it was a little bit too much in my ears with the Snowball. So this helps. Right, so that's the... No, I need that over there so I can see. And right, no, it's going to have to go down there and do that. Right, I got it. And this wire goes all the way back round the camera. And hopefully clips onto there. Don't do that button, lads, that's a bad idea. And I can square it up there. Perfect. So now I can actually do that and go, that's the new mic. See, all nice and bright and colourful and changes weird. Yeah, it's a nice bright microphone. I'm certainly not forgetting it or losing where it is. I'm definitely not banging my head on it because I can see it. Then again, I could also see the silver one as well, couldn't I? So I don't know what that's going to do. Ah, well. Right, now we need the bigger of the two nice new dry brushes. Big one. Because hopefully some of that's going to Not too bothered if I tack it a little bit with my thumb. I just want to make sure the bloody thing's dry. And if it's not, then I want to make it hurry up. Because I got to dry brush all this. And then I've got to mix some PVA moss together with, oh, wherever I put my herbs. They're up there somewhere. They're on here somewhere. I think they are actually over there behind it. In fact, I think they might be behind my glasses case. I'm going to have to find them either way, because I need the herbs to mix together to make the moss. So lots of moss, lots of mush. Mushy. Come on, get rid of the bits from the dry palette. The fact that I have to use a dry palette to start with is still doing me head in. I have a wet palette, but I have to use a dry palette because I still can't find my fucking wet palette. Ah, dear. Alright. Moisten the dry brush, because you don't want it wet, but you do want some moisture in there. Dry off, rub off most of the paint. So I painted my hand essentially. No worries, man. I mean, if you've got your own hobby setups and your own practices, then by all means keep to them. This is a hangout chat, so even if you are part of the hobby and you're not doing anything, you can still come and say, have your opinions on things, especially on nights like tonight, because as we said, I take name suggestions for characters. I believe Sparkles has taken note of the suggestion you had for the little dragon dog thing, which, if I can scroll back, if I'm on the right one, that is. Not that type of herb, Francois. Not that type of herb. This is mixed herbs. No, let's just check what the name was, because you did put a... Oh, Harriet the Hellhound. Yeah, so she's taken note of that. Of Harry the Hellhound. I'm going to go put it in the character book as one of the potentials, but I'm going to put it next to this actual character. Dragon dog thing, yeah. See? Dragon dog thing. Ah. Because I've got it in a weird angle at the minute. It's a dragon dog thing. Look, it's easier to classify than whatever this is. This is a weird blue-green critter. And it looks like a critter from the film Critters, so that's why I call it a critter. But I didn't paint it that colour. Just so nobody goes, but that's a critter. It's like, no, it's not. It's not. It's a baby, whatever animal I decide it's a baby version of. What's sliding off under there? That doesn't sound good. Or feel good, should I say. Nope, that's all my world eaters about to fall on the floor. Let's not let that happen. Okay, so now we have a textured and dry brushed and semi-painted ruin section. I mean, compared to the blue it was when I started, that's a lot better. That is a lot better. Right, now I've got to do the most horrible thing, which is try and wash the big dry brush. I hate trying to wash the big dry brush. It never comes clean. It just holds so much paint. You've got to kind of squish it out and do everything you can just to make sure that all the paint's gone all over. And it's got rid of everything. There we go, that should dry well. I'll leave that open near the radiator so it dries better. can't call it Mr. Bigglesworth. Well, possibly could, but Sparkles isn't here to take note of it, so I can't call it Mr. Bigglesworth in this instance, because Sparkles isn't here to verify it. What I can do, though, is make note of it. Right. Let's make note of Mr. Bigglesworth and Harry the Hellhound. Now, I've left the book out over near my smoking section because I was working on Shadow's stats the other night, which is why it's now planned out. So I'm just going to go get that book so I can make note of all the names that have been suggested, and hopefully when I stand up I'll be able to see my mixed herbs. Fingers crossed, eh? Take my headphones off so I don't go rock myself when I do this. Try not to knock the camera when I stand up. So my mixed herbs should be up here, along with the epoxy putties and the tiles, which, yep, still got them. Still got the tiles. I mean, I could have just cut some of these off and glued it on there instead, couldn't I? Pardon me, that's not the mixed herbs, that's a bit of a walkway. Now, I know I put the mixed herbs up here somewhere. What's in? Oh, those are more spare bases. Mixed herbs. I mean, if I don't find them on here, I know that I do have more of them in the cupboard. So I'll just go get some from the cupboard if necessary. But I would like to find the ones that are actually on my desk first, if I could. It would be nice. Nope, right, okay. Ones from the cupboard it is. You named your hellhounds Heidi and Helga. Why have I got a feeling those are real dogs? Oh, mixed herbs. Wrong cupboard. Okay, so we have quite literally mixed herbs. They are real dogs. That's why, yeah, see, I had a feeling they might have actually been real dogs. Most people just call them doggos, you call them hellhounds. I mean, if it's a Cane Corso, I can understand. Those things are bloody huge. They definitely get under the title for hellhound. Right, so, before I start mixing up the herbs, let's make a quick note of... Where are we? We don't have any names for the critter, but we have either Harry the Hellhound or we have... where's it gone? Oh, Lord Inquisitor Doggo Fassel. That's a top name. You also have Mr. Evil's cat. So I'll put it down as Mr. Bigglesworth, but I don't think Mr. Bigglesworth will get selected by Sparkles. Saying that, the mushroom familiar is called Marty, so I don't know what goes through her head sometimes. She just gets it. If she likes it, she likes it. If she doesn't, she doesn't, and I don't get much of a say in the matter. Okay, so that's the names written down. Now I need to get PVA glue and the mixed herbs, and I need to figure out where I'm going to put all these. Right, so if I can actually move the light now, and then if I move the light, then I can move this over here. There we go. So yes, you can see Lasgull over there in the background, as well as my big pile of paints and all the other stuff down there. My desk is a mess, I know. I can't wait to get my new desk so I can put all these on shelves and keep my desk nice and tidy and be in a little room under the stairs. It's going to be so nice. Erin! Erin, hello. Welcome in. Welcome in. You've just come in time for me to go do mossy stuff. I don't mean messy stuff, I mean mossy stuff. And hit the camera with my headphones as well while I'm at it. Because why not? You know, it makes sense. You can do stuff like that. Why not do it? Put that there, and I need something to mix my moss in. In this case, it's going to be an unused tobacco tin. The lid of it, more specifically, because it's not as deep. So I can put a nice big clump of mixed herbs in. I'm going to say a nice big clump, I mean a really big bloody clump. Yeah, but mine does, Francois, which kind of means I've got to keep certain parts of it clear. Mostly the area I'm going to be working in, which in this case I have, because it's got a great big whopping like 12-inch by 11-inch bloody diorama on it. So it's not like I'm not using the space, but it's still a lot of... Right, so now we get wood glue, and we dollop that into the mixed herbs. And we use wood glue because it's not quite as shiny. And then we get something to mix it with. So in this case we try our best to mix it and not get it all over the actual rest of the diorama. So I'm just going to mix it off camera, so then it definitely doesn't go in the diorama, it just goes all over me, which is easier to clean off, much easier to clean off. And it also means I can scrape and mix and add more glue if needed. Essentially you want a gritty paste that can be applied as a thick layer. So it's going to need a little bit more glue, just a little bit. I mean, you say my desk is fine, Francois. I've seen lots of other desks. I've seen Buzzard's desk, but Buzzard doesn't hobby, so obviously he doesn't have paints and glues and stuff all over his. But I've seen Graham's desk, I've seen Twisted's desk, and all of them are considerably neater and tidier than mine, to the point where me and Buzzard not long ago actually sat there and went through Twisted's desk and looked at certain things where we can actually see what they were. And it was like, oh wow, you can actually find that bit. So, right, now we've got a bit of moss paste made up. Start applying it into the areas where I believe it will have to go. Which in this case is up there to fill that gap. Down here to fill some of these gaps. Now I may still stick a bit of static grass at these lower areas, but it does apply. Is that Italian mixed herbs? I don't know actually. It doesn't specify where it's from. It just says mixed herbs, robust and balanced. So it's thyme, marjoram, parsley, oregano, sage, and basil. So I don't know if that's Italian mixed herbs, but you can buy it from your local supermarket as just a mixed herb thing. I do want lots of moss at the bottom, just to help fill in gaps where bricks really should be going. That might need a bit more glue in that, actually. That doesn't seem quite right. Or maybe I just need a better spudger than a half-cut lollipop stick. Yes, I called your battle station a desk. It's generally what people use for PCs and computers. They use desks. The fact that yours is something else is a different matter. But for layman's terms, and for referencing everyone else who's not seen it, then yes, it's a desk. Don't forget, not everyone's seen your setup, buzzers. I may have seen it, and if I call it a battle station, then people will probably look at me even weirder than they already do. And people already look at me weird. I don't need much help with that. But if I start calling desks battle stations, yeah, Buzzard calls it a battle station because, well, he enjoys taking aircraft down from the floor, or from little jet bikes, and from various other little things that you shouldn't be taking aircraft down with, but he finds a way anyway. As an avid Battlefield, is it 2142 or 2042? Not the futuristic one, the more modern day-ish one, isn't it? That you prefer playing, I believe. I mean, you've tried Battlefield 6. I know that much. Did you not think much of it? I can't remember. I don't see you go back a fair bit to the older one. So that kind of implies that the newer one isn't as good as some people might think. Especially myself. Ooh, this is almost... Oh, where's it gone? I've just dropped a bit of... There it is. Just dropped the last bit of... Oh, I nearly put that in my brew then. That's not good. You absolute muppet. You use a 6'6" by 4 foot door. Yeah, that's not a desk, is it? That's a full-on command center table. That's a little bit over the top, don't you think, Buzz? I'm already saying that because I'm jealous. I've got this desk, which is too big to fit in the areas that I need it to. So yeah, I'm a little bit jealous that you've got a 6 foot area to be playing your games and doing your projects on. Which is why I would love for you to get into this hobby, just because you've got plenty of room to do these projects in. Having a 6'6" by 4 foot door. If I ask Sparkles for that, you know what the response is going to be. It's going to be, yeah, you can go get, in a politer term, because Sparkles doesn't actually swear that much. And if you could ever get Sparkles to swear, you're in trouble. You're in real trouble. So Battlefield 6, nah, I can give it a miss. Fair enough. I'll bear that in mind. Not that I do for FPS games anyway, except for like Borderlands and... I play Killing Floor occasionally, I like the multiplayer games, so things like Left 4 Dead 2, Killing Floor 2, Vermintide 2. A lot of sequels there, isn't there? Yeah, Fargrim, that is a full-size table for Warhammer. That is a full-size, massive table for Warhammer. I mean, I've got 2 pace tables that end up being smaller than Buzzard's command station. I'm going to call it command station. It's not a battle station, it's command station. You've got more than enough room to have 4 or 5 people sat there going yes and no and reading out things. But as a 6 foot, 4 foot table, which is what's standard for 40k, what you use for a computer is bigger than that, Buzzard. Let's close that down so I can actually read this. There we go. Right, so let's go have a look at a bit of the moss. Now let's see if I can actually... No, I'm useless at get... Right, it's that way. Aha, see. Said the blind man. Right, so if I bring that down, and remember that I'm mirrored. So I'm going to do... Aha, there you go. So that's how we get the moss. Yeah, I like... Well, when I play them, Buzzard, I generally go for melee characters. So, Killing Floor 2, I have an axe or a shovel. I go full Kriegsman. Let's loop that back round. And then hopefully that means we can get... Nope. That doesn't want to get that way. Fair enough. But we do have moss round this side as well. So that's how we build up the moss. For it to be all across the top there. And even got a little bit, if I can get it in, worked into the... that way. There we go. Worked into the top as well. Ah, I'm not getting used to this. So that is the best part of the actual diorama done now. That is most of the diorama done. To the degree that, yeah, I've got 2 characters up here with the last 2 to go. Oh, these 2. Every time. It's a bloody bat dives off the top. So this little guy and this little guy both end up here. And then we have the last one, which is this fella, who will go there. And all the others, as we saw earlier, go up here. So Displacer Kitty, him, my favourite model out of them all. Oh, that is just a brilliant model, that one. I love that model. Little red cap. The Eldritch Knight. Nope, bring it up, bring it up, bring it. Aha, it comes off. This is probably the most precarious place I could place that. So Eldritch Knight is that side, which leaves just the monk. To go there. So that's all 6 for that layer. All that layer, including the matching bases, so you can go in certain places so we know where they are. And they match up nicely with the bases underneath. And then obviously the ground floor layer with everybody else on. So I have one last character who is, yeah, that's just Northan, isn't it? Northan. That's mostly because Buzzard doesn't want anything named after him in any way, shape, or form. Otherwise, obviously, the carrion bird would have got named Buzzard. And we would have kept the spider as Northan. But Northan now gets to be the bad gunslinger. I think I'll put him as a College of Law. Or is it the Shadow? It's one of them. I think it might be the College of Shadows. Or is... No, it's the monk who's the Shadow monk. And Northan's gonna be the... I think Lawbard. I don't think we've got a Lawbard. We have had to make a few changes for Chester. So Chester's now got an acorn hat. Instead of the two little... It's still probably the cutest one that I've done. By far. Apart from Sparkles and Oak. So we are coming really close to the end of this now, people. We are getting really close. We have a bar name. We have all barring one character done. And we have essentially the diorama itself finished. Finished? Really? No, I've got to have missed something. I've got to have missed something. I can't have done it all. It's just, no. No. I've got to have missed something. Am I really just down to one character? Is this going to be finished next week? I'm going to have to... I think it might be. I think this might be the penultimate episode of The Magical World of Sparkles and Oak. Once I've painted Northan, that's it. I've done. Oh, what am I going to do on Thursdays, people? My speaker set doesn't arrive till February. I'm going to have to do something on Thursdays. Northan's only going to take one bloody... He's going next week. Northan's done. That's him painted. It's finished. That's all the characters done. What am I going to do? I don't know. Sugar. Oh, well. Oh, did you not see Firegreen, by the way? The bat does remarkably look like Batman. So Batman is yeah, pretty close, even though he's a thief. He's the rogue thief. The Penguin is the rogue assassin. And as I said, weird little dragon dog that Francois didn't get quite a chance to see. And we still need a name for shiny little blue crittery thing. Well, I've done way more than I expected tonight. Come out pretty well as far as I can see. I'm just a little bit worried that I might only have 1 week left. No. No. Next week I do Northan. Then Sparkles does an opening. Because I have something that I don't know what it is. Yeah. Yeah, no. Graham from Rosedale Hobbies, as a lot of you will know, if you saw the break screen earlier, you can get a 10% discount from his web store by using the code LAS10. But he sent me something that he said I'm not allowed to open until I've finished this. Now, I'm obviously really close. I've got one character left to go. I've filled in all the ground bits that I needed to do. So I only have one character left. And then I get to find out what it is that Graham sent me. Oh, that should be fun. But He sent it to both me and Sparkles, so Sparkles gets to open it, and then I find out what the bloody hell it is. Oh well. This should be fun, eh? This should be really fun. You like paying assistants and thefts in D&D? Well, you don't have to pay them if you're playing the correct character. As I've said, this is my idea for this as a whole is people can choose characters and I run one-shots. At the edge of the pier, there is an imaginary portal where they leave to go on the adventures. And obviously they come back through the portal to the island once the adventure is over. Hopefully nobody dies. If they do, they can technically be revived by the portal, so there is a kind of, you're never going to really die. But everyone's level 7. And you pick the characters you want, and however many people there are. And I have to try and balance it from there using my other model collections. So I have lots of other models, as you know. I have Tyranids, I have Space Marines, I have Orcs, I have lots of strange other stuff that I can throw in. I've got a Goblin Warband, I've got all sorts of enemies that you can go against, as well as NPCs and other points. I mean, I've got the entire Cats and Catacombs of rather strangely enough. So, yeah, just one more model to paint. Find out what Graham sent me, because that should be the final finishing piece for the actual diorama. So it might still be 2 weeks yet, which hopefully will take me into when the speaker system arrives. If not, I can always start working on that as a different project anyway, because there's more stuff than just the speaker system. But until then, yeah, I think I'm done for this evening. Thank you everybody who came to see me. Anyone who's hit the like, the subscribe, and all the YouTubey stuff, again, thank you very much. Anyone who's hit it in the past and come to watch me tonight, thank you as well, because I enjoy you all coming to see me, and it makes it worthwhile for me. It makes it so it's not just going out into the ether and getting lost. Somebody's actually watching me, somebody's enjoying it, and that kind of gives me a little warm fuzzy feeling, and as it would with anyone, I suppose. But thank you all, and enjoy your weekend. I'm now feeling better, so Monday should be back. Models and Musings. Next week will be Combat Patrol. Well, this week's. And possibly some of the reading from next week's. But I won't be doing all the building. I'll be saving that for the week after. So until then, please drive safe.